Hey everybody. On today's episode of What I Found in Dad's Secret Arsenal, I have an old Harrington and Richardson top break 32 caliber revolver. Now I don't know very much about this gun. In fact, I feel like I'm going to have to summon the power of the interwebs to help me out with this one. I believe that this is an H&R Model 2 or Model 3 top break revolver. When I found this gun, I also found a whole bunch of ammunition, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the only 32 caliber gun in all of Dad's stuff. But I have a whole bunch of different ammo, and I don't really know what this thing shoots or what I have going on here. And the reality is, I'm probably never going to shoot this gun, and I'll show you why, for a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't know, I'm just not into it. It's kind of a goofy gun. It's very weird to handle. In fact, if you look at it, the grip is almost like boomerang shaped. So when you hold this gun, it almost feels like, it's so strange. Like it's almost like I feel like my hand is tilted back to point the gun straight. It's kind of strange. The other thing that I'm a little concerned about is it seems like this thing probably had a lot of use. I can see that the barrel is kind of, the bluing is kind of worn out. I'm wondering if maybe this was like a policeman's carry pistol or, some sort of maybe a military gun that somebody carried, because it does look like it has quite a bit of wear and tear and use on it. One thing I don't like here is that the barrel has a bit of play in there, and I don't know if that's good or, I know it's not good. I imagine it should be totally tight and not have any play in it at all. But this one definitely does have a little bit. And I imagine it's just from closing the gun so many times that it actually wore out the edges of the latch there. So it does automatically eject. I see that. That's pretty cool. These top break revolvers are pretty interesting. I think that these are way less common than the models with swing out cylinders. And I just think that these are probably, again, it's a little goofy, and I think it's probably difficult to load, although with a speed loader, you could probably load it really fast, but I think emptying it is the problem. I mean, even if you open it quick, the shells don't pop out unless you actually turn the gun, or you have to manually kind of dump the shells out, I feel like. Where with the swing out cylinder, I think it's much easier. You probably just sling it out and it empties as you open it, and then you can tilt it this way and then speed load. So I think that the top break maybe just didn't catch on. And also I think they wear out. Like that's kind of a design flaw. If you're constantly closing this latch and it wears the metal out to the point where the gun is loose, then I think that that's a problem. I don't really like that design. So I mean, you can lift the latch up and then close it. I mean, that's what you would do with an old antique like this. I mean, you want to kind of preserve it and be nice to it. So I mean, that's what I would do is, kind of lift everything up and close everything nicely. But, when this gun was new and it was being used and handled, I'm sure it was just shot, slammed shut, and that was it. So I think it has a tendency to wear out. So I would love to know if anybody has any information on this gun. This is a gun that had to go on my pistol permit. All of Dad's guns were all registered. All of his pistols were registered. And the law here in New York is that, well, on Long Island, where I am, is that if you have an antique gun and you have ammunition for it, you have to register it. So even the horse pistol, if anybody watched that episode, is a registered firearm on my permit. And Dad actually, I probably should have told this story then, but Dad actually had to put he had to scribble a number on the barrel under the stock on that gun just so he could register it. Now, the Pistol Bureau doesn't seem to really know a whole lot about guns for the most part. They're just looking to get the numbers off of it and get it on your permit or get everything registered and do whatever easiest for everybody, I think. That's kind of the impression I get. So with this gun, when it came off of Dad's permit onto mine, it's registered as an H&R 990. Now, I don't know of any H&R model 990. It doesn't seem to come up. It doesn't seem to be a model that H&R made. So I think where they got that number from is if you look on the cylinder in here, I doubt you'll be able to see this on the camera, but it says 990 or Maybe it says 066. I'm not really sure, but they wrote it down as 990, and it says it on the cylinder in there. So I guess that's where they got the number from. It also says it in the serial number, which is 427990. So I don't know where I'm assuming that that's where they got that from. Now the other question I have is when I found this gun and I found the ammo, I found this box here, and it had all different kinds of 32 ammo in it. Now this one here on the left is 32 short Colt. This one is 32 Smith & Wesson. This one's 32 Smith & Wesson long, and this one is a 38 special that I just put out there in comparison to see how much of a difference that is. The 32 is kind of a tiny little cartridge, but all of these, except obviously the 38 special, fits in this gun. And like I said, I'm probably never going to shoot it. I don't know which one it's supposed to take. The barrel, it actually says on here, it says 32 Smith & Wesson CTGE. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, if that's some sort of special cartridge or what. I also, after doing a little bit of research, saw that there's an H&R 32 Magnum or H&R 32 special cartridge of some sort. So even H&R made their own 32. So I don't really know. And like I said, I'm probably not going to shoot this. But when I also, real quick, when I found the ammo, and the other thing that makes me a little nervous about this is I also found these, which are adapters, which seem like you can maybe use some of these in maybe a 30-30. I don't know. So if anybody has any information they could add, I would love to have you put that down in the comments, because I'm really curious about what I have here. I mean, I know that this gun isn't particularly valuable or anything. I just don't know what it is. And like a lot of Dad's guns, I don't know where it came from or what the story is behind this one. But I figured I'd put this one out and see if someone will tell me what they think I have here. I appreciate it. Any comments or any input is always greatly appreciated. So as usual, thanks for watching, and tune in next time.